going to be showing you how to make the garbage cookies that we make here at Seth's Coffee. Right down here we're going to start with our butter, and then we have regular white sugar and brown sugar we're going to add to it. Make sure your butter is softened. And then we're going to add our sugar and brown sugar. And get these mixing up so they get nice and fluffy. Low to medium speed. Make sure it's really well incorporated there. We're going to add 2 eggs to this, one at a time. Let it mix in after the first egg. Alright, and then as this is mixing, we're going to add our cocoa powder, our flour, and our baking soda together. Make sure that's mixed up and incorporated with each other. And then we're going to add that as the mixer is running. We're going to add it a little bit at a time in here. And with cocoa powder and flour, there's a lot of dry ingredients in this cookie, so there will be some mess as the mixer runs. It's a very thick cookie. So sometimes, if you're mixing this by hand, it could get to be quite the good workout for you. Then for the garbage cookies, really, it's a very flexible recipe. You can add just about anything you'd like. So I personally, I like to put in some marshmallows. So I cut them into smaller pieces, or you can just buy the smaller size marshmallows. Some Rice Krispies gives it a nice crunch. Some nuts. I like pecans, but almonds or walnuts would do fine in here as well. I got some peanut butter chips. You can do white chocolate chips or regular chocolate chips instead. Just depends on your preference. And then M&Ms. Basically, if you have a partial bag of anything at home, you can add almost anything into these cookies, and they're going to end up glorious. So we got a very thick batter here. I'm going to scrape it back into the bowl. Get the mixer out of the way, and we'll get our sheet pan out. I always like to use parchment just because then you don't have to worry about a spray on the bottom. And then we use a number 2 size scoop just to make sure that cookies are a consistent size. Make sure it's nice and full. I happen to like a very thick cookie, so I don't press my cookies down. But if you do like them a little flatter, you can always press it down after you put it onto your baking sheet. And then the final touch of these cookies is somewhat of a surprise to many, some potato chips. So, easiest way to do this, I usually just take a couple potato chips, press them down right on top. Breaks it up a little bit. It's got a nice salty crunch on top of this gloriously sweet cookie. Pop them into the oven at 350 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. Let them cool on a cooling rack and you're good to go. And you get a little something that ends up looking like this at the end.